How long are you willing to get sufficient Republican support before you would greenlight Democrat attempts to use reconciliation?
The decision to use reconciliation will depend upon how these negotiations go. It's not enough for me just to come up to you and say, I like this, I expect you to support it.
I support passing COVID relief with support from Republicans if we can get it, but the COVID relief has to pass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
A significant shift in tone there from President Joe Biden, seeming to admit bipartisanship might not be possible in passing his proposed COVID relief bill. Incoming Senate Budget Committee Chair Bernie Sanders has been leading that charge and joins us now. Good morning, Senator. The Democrats seem prepared to pass Biden's COVID relief package with or without Republican support, which has been shrinking in recent days. Did the president overestimate the appetite for bipartisanship?
Look, Martha, we all want bipartisanship, and I think you're going to see more of it as we move down the pike. You're going to see bipartisanship on infrastructure. There are a lot of Republicans who are outraged by the high cost of prescription drugs in this country. We pay 10 times more than other countries do for certain drugs. We are going to look forward to working with Republicans. But right now, this country faces an unprecedented set of crises. We have families who are watching this program right now who cannot feed their kids. We have millions of people who face eviction. We are in the midst of the worst pandemic in 100 years. We have got to act, and we have got to act now. And we just don't have.
Senator, you said you can't reach out to Republicans indefinitely, and Democrats should use the majority. But this morning, we're hearing 10 GOP senators have a new plan. So is it a mistake for Democrats to consider abandoning bipartisanship negotiations so soon?
Martha, the issue is not, bipartisanship or not. The issue is, are we going to address the incredible set of crises and the pain and the anxiety which is in this country? You know what? I don't care what anybody says. We have got to deal with this pandemic. We have got to make sure that we are producing the vaccines that we need and get those vaccines into the arms of people. We cannot have children in America going hungry, people being evicted, schools not open. We need to open our schools in a safe way. That's what we have to do. So the question is not bipartisanship. The question is addressing the unprecedented crises that we face right now. If Republicans want to work with us, they have better ideas on how to address those crises, that's great. But to be honest with you, I have not yet heard that.
Does your party have the votes to pass the relief package through the reconciliation process if you decide to go that route?
Yeah, I believe that we do, because it's hard for me to imagine any Democrat, no matter what state he or she may come from, who doesn't understand the need to go forward right now in an aggressive way to protect the working families of this country. Look, all of us will have differences of opinion. This is a $1.9 trillion bill. I have differences and concerns about this bill, but at the end of the day, we're going to support the President of the United States, and we're going to come forward, and we're going to do what the American people overwhelmingly want us to do. The polling is overwhelming. Republicans, Democrats,
Senator, you say you're confident about the Democrats, but I saw Joe Manchin from West Virginia this weekend, and he has made remarks after watching Kamala Harris being interviewed about this relief package, saying, no one called me about that. We're going to try to find a bipartisan pathway forward. I think we need to do that. We need to work together. That's not a way of working together. Are you still confident?
Yep, I am absolutely confident. I'll tell you also why. Joe Manchin is a chairman. I'm a chairman. Democrats have majority because of the fact that we won 2 seats with great candidates in Georgia. And obviously, those candidates won the support of the people of Georgia. But that campaign, in many ways, was a national campaign. And what those candidates said is, yes, we are going to provide checks of $2,000, $1,400 on top of the $600. Yes, we're going to extend unemployment benefits. Yes, we are going to address the needs of working families. The entire Democratic Party came together behind the candidates in Georgia. We made promises to the American people. And if politics means anything, if you're going to have any degree of credibility. You know what? You can't campaign on a series of issues and then after the election, when you get power, say, oh, well, you know what? Change in our mind. That's not the way it works. We
Senator,
made promises to the American people. We're going to keep those promises.
And Senator, speaking of Georgia, I want to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've been talking about her this morning. Do you believe she's fit to hold office, and should she be on the Education Committee?
Look, I think the idea that you're talking about members of the U.S. House of Representatives who are talking about violence, that is, you know, it is almost beyond comprehension. And I think this is something the Republican Party has got to deal with. Look, I'm not, going to give the Republicans advice. They don't want my advice. But ultimately, they will continue being a conservative party that believes in democracy, or an authoritarian party based on big lies, conspiracy theories, and in fact, a movement toward violence. And I hope the Republicans make the right decision and come down on the side of democracy.
And Senator, we only have about 15 seconds left, but there was a big story this week about the Robinhood app and GameStop. Some of your colleagues were very critical of Robinhood's decision to block its users from purchasing more GameStop stock on Thursday. What do you say to them? What do you think needs to happen quickly, if you can, sir?
Well, in one sentence, I have long believed that the business model of Wall Street is fraud. I think we have to take a very hard look at the kind of illegal activities and outrageous behavior on the part of the hedge funds and other Wall Street players.
Okay, thanks very much. Very succinct. Appreciate it.